Okay, all. This is Garwilly here. I wonder how many people have been actually pronouncing it correctly, but it is Garwilly, even though it's spelled more like Garwiley. I'm going to try and put together my first ever video, so bear with me if I don't do this right. But it's in reference to how to get to level 55 in the Forbidden Labyrinth. Um, obviously, I'm going to make some assumptions here, and that is that everybody who's listening to this video has already gone exploring into the labyrinth and has gotten themselves down to one level or another. Right now, I'm on 55, or 56, I mean, 456, it's completed. I have to the right, I have a auto plunder button. Well, I guess I have to go down to the next floor to do it. And I can auto plunder. That is going to be available if you have your VIP on. I do recommend anytime anybody goes into the labyrinth that they make sure they turn on their VIP because it gives them more satchel space so you can collect more stuff. It gives you other benefits like auto plunder, or when you actually attack somebody, it gives you, if you notice to the right, I can speed it up so when I attack at a faster rate, or the other one is an auto complete the attack button, and then you can look inside. As we've noticed, if you've been doing this recently, it used to give you various different things. Now it just gives you ancient coins, which you can use to buy stuff at the Undead Trader, which has its pluses and minuses, but that's the way they do it now, so we do what we can. So this is the labyrinth. If you're unable to get down to 55, I suggest you do the best you can to work your way down to 55 as fast as absolutely possible. I'll show you some things that you need to do, which can take some time to get each one of them done, but if you do these, then you will get to level 55 as quick as you can buy the stuff and upgrade your equipment and everything. So I'm going to step out of this labyrinth. I did recommend VIP on, so let me just show you that real quick. I'm just going to scroll all the way to the bottom. I have no pointer or anything, so I can't really show you, so I can only tell you. But you look at some of these things with your VIP on, these things like Dragon Spirit, Battle Skip, they're all unlocked and everything. I think they start unlocking pretty early, so make sure you turn these on when you go into the labyrinth. If after you get out of the labyrinth they end, you won't lose what's in your satchel even if it's over the new adjusted amount and everything. So turn them on when you're there, get out before they go. You can see satchel capacity will be increased and everything. So do have your VIP on when you're down there. Next, let's go to this spirit chamber. I'm just going to kind of go across and talk about each one of them. So first we're going to talk about your dragon spirit itself. Best thing to have your dragon spirit up to is level 45. Mine's at 47. I was working to get it farther and farther down, not realizing that I ultimately benefited myself, but I got all the way down to level 64, and I'm still not ranking in any top 10 or anything. So people who are behind me trying to work their way up, it will take you a long time and you're not going to get anywhere getting to the top people. If you really concentrate for a very long time, maybe you can, but I'm just trying to get you to level 55. You can use the rest of it to get as far as you want. So do recommend you try to get your level to 45 as soon as possible. If it is not at 45, you want to go to Undead Trainer to buy some Dragon Spirit experience, and over time work it up to level 45. I believe that's the highest you really have to get it to go, especially if you're only trying to get to level 55. Next is your talent points. I have most of my talent points in Mage. When you're trying to get to level 55, I recommend you put your talent points into one of the three disciplines. You see Berserker, Knight, and Mage at the top. I chose Mage So initially I had all of my talent points in the mage, and if you look how it is across here, that's what we call going straight across. I skipped defense for satchel capacity. Obviously, if you are not worried about satchel capacity, you can take mage defense 1, and then of course mage attack. You could see that most of the time I'm doing stuff for attack. Again, I went down to satchel capacity because I'm trying to get a higher capacity. And you'll notice that Berserker and Knight has 10 each. At the very end, I'll explain what that's doing for me now. But while you're trying to get down to level 55, don't split up your talent points. Put it in all of one discipline. In my case, I put it all in Mage. Knight is just as good as Mage, so if you have them all in Knight, that is fine. But I had read and watched videos where everybody said that the Knight and the Mage is much better than the Berserker, so I'm just going by what other people have told me, so there's no recommendation to stay in Berserker. It's always recommended to go to Knight or Mage. But either way, you're going to use your talent points. You go straight across the tree, trying to get as far as you can down the tree, and you can see that I'm not very far down the tree. At one time, I had this all the way out. I was getting pretty close out this way towards the Flame and Fury 2, but since I stopped trying to go deeper into the Spirit Labyrinth, I changed to satchel capacity, and so that's why I'm not so far down that tree anymore. I'll explain about that later. But in the meantime, get yourself up to level 45, go across that talent tree as far as you can. Next thing we'll talk about is your equipment. So we can go into Spirit Armory, and I can see the equipment here. Now the equipment, you want to get it in all one discipline. I mentioned to you that I went down to Mage discipline, and so I got everything I have here is all Warlock or Mage discipline. And where you can buy those is if you go into the Undead Trader. Everything is done with the ancient coins now. So if you go into the Undead Trainer, under the Scrolls section, you will see it first starts with green. It's not really recommended to have all green. Then blue. Then purple. Now some of you who may not be able to get to the orange right away might want to start with purple. So you can utilize the same concept I'm going to show you with the orange, with purple if you are on blue and you're still trying to move the purple. It depends on how far along you are. But I'm going to talk about doing this with the orange scrolls. Again, you can use the same concept with the purple scrolls. So right here at the bottom, you can see all 6 of these that are on the screen are all Warlock scrolls. The first thing you want to do about getting gear is you want one of each one of these scrolls. And you can see that it might take you a couple of spirit resets to get enough coin to buy every one of these scrolls. But you do want a complete set. Once you buy those, then obviously the next thing you're going to want to do under the equipment is you're going to want to build that. And then of course if you go down here, it's going to tell you what you need to build it. The requirements on the bottom left side. That same steel is the same steel for building other gear, so you got to keep in mind while you're using steel for this gear, you're using up the steel that you might be using to try to get Deathseeker gear, so you got to keep that in mind. The rest of it, if you do not have enough of these other material, again, everything is found in the Undead Trader. So we can go back to the Undead Trader, and under materials, you can see that the Fire Opal Soul Clay and then the Spider Silk were the 3 that they were wanting you to get. These other stones here, those are going to be used to upgrade your gear. I'm sorry, being called enhancing your gear. I say upgrade, but those are going to be used for that. So you are going to need to buy them. But what you can do, what's nice about this is once you know exactly what you need, you can go and buy just what you need to be able to create that. Oh, I think I went in the wrong place. Let's go back here. So I have my Warlock throwing knives. I have actually one additional scroll. So, but it's just showing me what I need to get there. And you can see I could actually forge it right now. I have enough of everything needed to forge it. But since I already have that, I'm not going to forge it. So once you have each one of your equipment, to stay on the equipment, I'll tell you what the next thing you should be doing with your equipment. I will talk about embedding in a second with your rune stones, but now that I have a complete gear, one of the next things I want to do is work on getting all of them to level 5. If you read down under the enhancement resonance that's kind of midway to the right, you can see that all equipment enhanced to level 5 or higher will give me a set resonance boost of 50%. And then you can also see that if I get them all to level 10 or higher, I'll double that boost again. I don't need to get it that high to be able to get to level 55. Like I said, I've already gotten to level 64 with what I have. So certainly if I want to keep buying more stuff and upgrading and getting higher, I could get a good resonance boost at a level 10 that could probably get me down to maybe level 75, and I can catch up to the tops. But I'm not trying to get there. So in the case of this, I had one extra scroll for the throwing knives. So if I look at the scrolling knives, the enhance button went green, it's gone, and then when I get on this it went green. That means that I have all the stuff. But if you're wondering what you need, right here's the requirements. You'll need another scroll. So obviously once you buy one of every scroll, and then you want to upgrade to level 1 to level 2, you're going to have to keep buying more scrolls. And then it also tells you the other requirements, and then you can see the blue stone is required where I'm at to upgrade it. And so I just make sure that I get enough of the information which I have, or enough of the materials which I have, so I could just hit the enhance button and it'll upgrade me. Once the best thing to do is to always kind of do it even. Get all of them enhanced to level 1, then work on getting all of them enhanced to level 5. I wouldn't try to enhance one to level 7 while you still have other ones at level 1 or 2, because if you notice here on the enhanced resonance, all of them needs to be to level 5 or higher for you to get the boost. So who cares if one of them's at level 7 if one of the other ones is not up to level 5. So work on all of them in unison, and you might not even need to get them all up to 5 to get down to level 55. But that's one thing you can work on. The next thing you can work on is the rune stones, which under the Spirit Armory, you click the rune stones tabs, and you'll see that I have multiple rune stones here. These rune stones, let me go to equipment. We're looking at the Warlock quote. These things can be embedded. It's very similar to the Valor gems and everything for your other equipment. These have specific colors, so make sure that you get the colors right. If you pay attention to one that's empty, like this one is, you can see that it's purple in color and blue in color, so that means the knives will need 2 purple and 1 blue. So now let's go back to equipment and look at the knives. You can see that I embedded 2 purple or thunder runes and 1 blue energy rune. So under my rune stones, you can see roughly what I needed for each one of them. They're marked as embedded. I have a few extra here collecting from different things. After you get every one of them embedded, and I believe you will usually always end up with a +1 rune, you can select on them, and just like any of the other ones, you can hit that little plus button and it'll tell you how to upgrade and how much it will cost to upgrade it. These cost $2,700 to upgrade. You can use extra rune stones. They give you +50 to them. You can, and then you can also use refining runes, and they give an extra. Well, depending on what level, will depend on what you get, and so you can use that to upgrade it. My recommendation for rune stones upgrade is to try and work on getting them all up to a +4. Once they're a +4, going to +5 does take a lot. I have tried looking for, like, doing math to see if it would be better to upgrade all of the +1s to a +2 before I go on to the next one, or if I just take one and try to get all the way up to 5 before I go on to the next one. It looks like it almost makes no difference ultimately in the amount of extra material you need to use to upgrade. So you can kind of do it whatever you want. I try to get all of them to +4. I believe by the time you get all of your rune stones to +4, by the time you have them all at +5, all of your gear upgraded to enhanced to a +5, then you should clearly be down to level 55. You might not even have to get all of it down so far. Another reason why you might want to do all of them together, get all of them to +1, get all your gear to +2, all of them to +3. Same thing with your rune stones. Once you put a rune stone in, embedded it in every available slot, then you want to get all of them to +2, then get all of them to +3, and then you might find yourself getting what you need sooner than as far as I have them, because obviously I'm a little farther than level 55. Once you're at 55, I think you're good. Last thing I do want to show you, and these are for those people who are already at level 55. When I showed you my talent points, you see that I have the Knight and the Berserker. I have 10 points used in each one of them, and instead of all 63 in Mage. For those people who are already at level 55, and what is the most important thing about level 55 is here in Undead Trader, once you're at level 55, you will free up your ability to buy resources that the highest amount of resources. These resources are very, very, very good. Those people who are trying to get from Stronghold level 26 up to Stronghold level 30, if you don't have these bottom resources here open, you are taking an extremely, you're making yourself take longer to be able to get to resources. And unless you have a lot of money, which I don't, it's just gonna take you a long time. Once I discovered this and started buying these resources on a daily basis, you can see that I bought iron, food, and silver. Once I started buying these on a daily basis, I suddenly went to level 27, then to 28. I'm getting ready to go to 29 now, and then I'll push for 30 as soon as possible. I even buy the next one down in silver too, because silver is the hardest thing to get. But this is one, for res collection, this is the most important thing, and that's why you want to get to level 55. Once you are there, then you can change around your talent points. I change around my talent points to increase my satchel capacity. You can see my satchel capacity. I'll put it to the top one. It says it's 1420. That satchel capacity was made based on my talent points. What I did is I just reset my talent points, and then I went through this tree, and I considered every time satchel capacity is in there, and I made sure that my tree went through the satchel capacity. Under Berserker, I did the Berserker health and then satchel capacity. Under the Knight, I did the Knight health and then satchel capacity. So I maximized my satchel capacity to the highest it can possibly get, and still allow me to, I used to get to level 64, now I still get to level 63. So it's not really doing too big of a deal to my ability to go down into the labyrinth. But it did change it. It made me a little weaker, but hey, I'm already at 55, so I'm fine. So a lot of times now what I do is when I go down in there, when I explore, it asks me what level I want to start on. I just start on one of the like 20 levels. Like I start at 41 because I know I go into the 60s. Most people probably want to start at 31. And then if you just do that, let me go in here. Like I said, if most people start at like 31, and then you see the blue lightning bolt over to the right. If I click that, it tells me what floors I can auto plunder. With VIP on, that's available, so I can auto plunder. I got four more floors to auto plunder. once I auto plunder that, it tells me what I'm going to get. You just hit confirm, and then you can just open this chest here, and then it tells you on the side what you're getting, what you can get. If I wanted to get those extra few things, I could drop, let's see, it looks like I have to drop like 8 of weight, so I'll discard 8 weight, and now allow me to pick up these extra things. And then, of course, because I have 1420, I'm going to pick up 1,397 new coins that I can use to buy things from the Spirit Cave, most especially including resources on a daily basis. So that's everything that I can think of to say. Hopefully everybody appreciates this video. If you don't appreciate the video, then we'll start having Bulletproof do all the videos for us. Alright, goodbye.